Guys, we got fantastic changes that are going to help with the cash burn situation. Now, NIO finally closed this, I guess, this gap, this loop, or this hole. All right. So before, what you could do was you had free battery swap, like I do. I have free battery swap, and other guys have free battery swap. But what they would do is, of course, they'd swap into a fully charged battery, drive it home, and then they'd charge their other EVs with their NIO, or even power their home. And there's even videos of some people powering their shops. All right, a convenience store powered by NIO.
I would like to ask the future leaders of the company, do you regret selling this car? These car owners were promised a lifetime of free battery replacements. Later, such a discharge gun was invented. Our colleagues get up in the morning and replace the batteries, then they give it to another colleague's small basin to charge for the day. They return to replace the battery in the evening.
Brother Discharge's discharge gun is really useless. Put it to use in the supermarket. There are 3 refrigerators here and 4 over there. There are 5 units over there and 6 more units elsewhere in the room. Their computers, control systems and lights can all be driven by it.
So that actually saves them a lot of money, you know, up to 1,000 or 2,000 RMB a month, which is roughly about 150 to around 300 US dollars a month by just doing that. Of course, and also if you go camping, you can use one of those outlet adapters and then just use your NIO as a battery bank to power whatever you need to power. The problem is, of course, this is equivalent to stealing electricity from NIO. All right, obviously this is a lot of cash burn. And right now, with the rise of V2G chargers, vehicle to grid chargers, what some people have been doing is, of course, fleecing the hell out of their free battery swaps. Get a free battery swap, go to a V2G charger, and then get the power back to the grid and then earn money that way. Of course, this is very infuriating for you guys, the shareholders, for me as well. I have never done that, all right? But apparently, right now, NIO is finally tightening the grips on this. They are limiting the output or the amount of electricity that you can get out of this car externally to about 15 kilowatt hours per month. Any more than that, you will have to pay additional electricity fees. And keep in mind, this is only from the electricity that you got via free battery swaps. All right, only from free battery swaps. If you charge your car normally and pay for it, or if you paid for a battery swap and you want to charge something else, go ahead. NIO's not going to stop you from doing that. But if you're getting free battery swaps and then you're charging other stuff and charging other EVs and opening your own charging shop, charging your convenience stores and charging your home, charging your factory, it does not make sense for NIO to not get some money from that. All right. And I made this joke with the NIO manager. I said, like, you know, NIO has to put the cap on this. Like, even back then, I said, NIO has to put the cap on this. Otherwise, the state grid would be buying NIOs to get free battery swap and charge the state grid. I mean, like, how ridiculous is that? So a lot of NIO owners have been saying that, you know, every month, because of this rule, they pretty much lost about 1,000 RMB in income. I'm like, what? Seriously? Seriously? That's what you're focused on? Needless to say, free battery swap has always been a source of major cash burn. All right. And I've been saying this for a very long time. A lot of people have been saying, hey, Mr. P, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's great that NIO is finally closing the loophole for this. We are no longer going to see NIOs charging other EVs for free. However, you guys do got to understand that for early NIO owners, battery swap will continue to be a source of cash burn for NIO via early NIO owners like me and other guys. When NIO CEO launched the ES8 and the EC7, he went on stage and talked about how one ES6 in 3 years' time swapped so much all right, that the swapping fees that he saved from free battery swap is enough to buy a BMW X3. Now, his purpose was to show that, of course, you buy a NIO, you save money, but also that the battery swap system is very reliable, and even the car, after so many swaps, still very, very reliable, works perfectly fine. But I guess the side effect from him revealing that is just shocking shareholders, stockholders, and NIO owners alike about how exuberant some people are swapping battery swaps and driving their NIOs, like just driving like crazy. Apparently that guy puts around 400 kilometers per day on his NIO, and he uses it like a truck. All right, he carries stuff from work to factories and all that stuff, and that car is just not only being driven by him but also his employees. And because there's free battery swap, why not? You get to drive for free. He gets to save on a massive amount of cost, and this is something that NIO also closed the gap on. So NIO no longer allows you to use free battery swap for business purposes. All right. And I guess this kind of draws a line. Like, how do you define business purposes? But they don't want you to buy this car and use it like a truck and then just carry stuff from A to B to A to B. So in their disclaimer with battery swap, free battery swap, it says that it should not be used for business purposes. All right. For example, using it as an Uber or something like that. Driving it as an Uber, of course, you'd save a lot of money. If you buy ET5 and you got free battery swap, hell yeah. You do Uber, you'd save a ton of money. But of course, NIO has to carry that cost. So if at any point NIO finds out that you're using battery swaps for business purposes, all right, not just commute, but like carrying stuff and maybe like Uber and all that kind of stuff, then you might lose your battery swap forever, all right? Now, a lot of NIO owners here in China have asked, those with 6 free swaps per month or 4 free swaps per month, they have been asking, why can't we pass this over, carry it over to the next month? NIO's president has said that every swap carries a very real cost, and if you allow that to be carried on to the next month and you're allowed to basically save up on the free swaps, that would be like eating a buffet but also doing takeout with the buffet. And that would be just extremely detrimental to NIO's cash situation. And every swap has a very real cost that they have to carry. But all these moves, everything that they're doing, and then combined with, as of August, every new NIO purchased after August, since the start of August, does not get free battery swap at all. It's very good to see NIO take these measures to reduce cash burn. Otherwise, holy crap,